Videos Leila Nishmas of Shmobach and Chaim Tzvidov. It's the 16th day of the Omer. Gvura Shebetiferes. What does this mean to us? Gvura Shebetiferes. I want to tell you my own interpretation, especially with the Zman of what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. Kids literally can't go to sleep. People are being killed. And someone sent me a speech from Bibi Netanyahu, Binyamin Netanyahu, Rosh HaMemshala, the Prime Minister. And he was saying words that probably every one of us wants to scream out. Why is it something that seems to be so obvious? How is it possible that we're tolerating it? How is it possible that any nation in the world would tolerate what's going on in Eretz Yisrael? And Bibi Netanyahu says, enough's enough. And he basically says, in 24 hours, if it doesn't stop, then that's it. We're taking it over the area and we're annexing it. It's part of Eretz Yisrael. I don't even know if this speech, it was only written, if it's true or not. It's something that every one of us wants to scream out. We want to scream out even more. If really we felt that our screaming was something that would have an effect, and if we were going based on logic, how can what's going on in Germany, marches of Nazis, mamish, things that are going on now are things that went on in right before the war, in 1939, 1938, 1937. What's going on? And every one of us, how is that possible? How is it the world? How's New York Times getting away with what they write, what they print? So really, in the world of Ishtadlus, it's probably true. I was speaking to a Chavel of mine. I said, listen, just like then, and a lot of things that are happening now happened then, and they say that there were a lot of things that we could have done. There were millions of dollars that Jews had that could have been used to save. And in fact, Rav Aaron Kotler and other great men tried to go and do whatever they can to save Jewry, but unfortunately, it didn't seem to be that we lived up to what we could. There was enough money, they say, to save all Jewry, whatever that exactly means. But it's scary because it could be today it's the same thing. So I'm not one of the billionaires and the millionaires, but I would imagine I'll be Hishtadlus, and maybe one of the millionaires is watching this, is that the 10 top billionaires should probably get together and take the five top leaders of the Jewish people, sit down and figure out what to do. Maybe put together $40 million and buy out our friend, a Jew that's running social media, Zuckerberg. Who knows? Again, this is a little Daniel Coren here giving some ideas. I don't need to give the ideas. I need to probably inspire perhaps the millionaires to get together, put together, who knows, $100 million, $1 billion, and figure out maybe somehow social media, if it has to look at the power it has, to be able to influence. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that there's probably a lot that Api Hishtadlus we should be doing. But I think every one of us on an individual basis, us, little guys like me, I think we could definitely tap into what Gvura Shebetiferes is. Gvura Shebetiferes, Gvura means to overcome something. Tiferes means to bring out the glory of the Rebbeinu Shalom, the glory of Klal Yisrael. Yisrael Asher B'chayis Ba'al. So that for sure, how can we do that? So I was actually by a wedding, and there was a few minutes extra that we had to wait for someone coming. Anyway, so I said over Pirkei Avos. Right now we're learning Pirkei Avos. You begin Pirkei Avos, you see something absolutely stunning. The beginning of the Pirkei Avos starts off with a tradition. The whole tradition of Klal Yisrael, the Torah. It's very powerful, and you'd imagine the first teaching, the Pirkei Avos, is filled with amazing teachings. What's going to be the first insight that we're going to learn? You know what the first insight that we learn? Shimon HaTzadik tells us, he was from Shiur Knesset Agdola, right? The last one of Shiur Knesset Agdola. And he says you should know, these are the three things you have to have in order to have Kiyum HaTorah, that the Torah should always exist, and the world should always exist, and Jewry should always exist, and we should survive. Eitz Chaim Lo Machazikim Ba. The answer is, Hevu Mesunim Badin. Be deliberate in judgment. That's it. That's the first teachings. But if we think about it, one of the greatest interesting human natures is that a person looks at something else or looks at someone, takes a picture, and right away there's a negative reaction. And the reason for that is, I once heard, because psychologically you look at someone, he's different. He's wearing a different yarmulke, he's wearing a different head, he's wearing a kippah sruga, he's not wearing a black yarmulke, or he's not wearing this type of yarmulke or this type of hat. We right away say he's not like me. So I have to forget it's a defense mechanism. But the truth is, we understand. Hevu mesunim badim beside means based in. It means every one of us. Don't be so quick to judge. The first picture that you just took, that's one picture. Try to go deeper. Find something beautiful in the person that you're looking at. How crucial is it in these days? If we thought, really, besides the level of Ishtadlus that we have to do, Apiteva, but we know that if the Rebbeinu Shem told us that the world, the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of Sinas Chinam, so to fix it has to be through Avas Chinam, which means we have to go way beyond the letter of the law when we're looking at other people and being able and be able to unify. So Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, he says that one of the greatest favors that all the rockets do, and we all know it's true, is unifying the Jewish people. We have no time, but you know what's scary? Sometimes, even when we're at war, there's time to judge people. That's what we need to eradicate. And b'schus that we should be zeicher that Mashiach should come today. Mashiach should come today. He could come today. We believe he could come today. Let's make it happen.